everyone, welcome to our channel. This is the first video that we are doing as Bling Your Things. Today we are going to be decorating and rhinestoning an Ink Joy pen with rhinestones. We're going to do this swirl pattern like we've done in this one, using two different colors. This one is using Crystal and Chameleon Rainbow, both in size SS10. We're going to use the Inkjoy pen to prep the pen. These pens normally have a clip right here. We have removed that, and then we've already sanded down the pen. We did that just by using a normal nail file. Then we sanded down the pen, we took the shine off. And I like to take my pens apart before I start to rhinestone them. So I'm going to remove all the pieces from it. It has 4 separate pieces, 5 if you count that spring. So we're going to take the end off. We're going to take the pen part out. And then we're going to take the little clicker out, and the clicker comes in 2 different pieces. So we're going to want to set these to the side so that we don't lose them. And the glue that we're going to use today is Super Tight Fusion Tack. This is a white glue, but it does dry clear. And we're going to apply it with our syringe and a 20 gauge needle. This needle is hollow on the inside so that it helps your glue come out. I don't fill my syringe full of glue. Otherwise, if you can always add more, but putting it in there, it has more time to dry and your glue might start to cure while it's in your syringe, and you don't want that to happen. So the stones that we're going to use are our line of stones, the Bling Your Thing stones. These are diamond cut flatbacks. They don't have any glue already applied to the back. Then the 2 colors that we're going to use are the Chameleon Rainbow and Crystal. So you can use these like little green shaker trays to put your stones in. It helps like flip them up so that they're easier to pick up. I don't know about you, but I tend to flip these over, so I don't use them too much anymore. So I'm just going to set these to the side. I have just a work mat, which is like a simple mouse pad. The surface of the mouse pad helps to flip your stones over. So I'm going to just pour out a little bit into piles so that they're easy to work with. And then I'll show you how they flip over fairly easy. So those were our Chameleon, and then these are our Crystal. Again, both in size SS10. Then the pickup tool that we're going to use today, we're just going to use a simple wax tip pencil. You can get these. You can get them online. We carry them. There are other tools that people use. But today, you don't really need anything fancy to do this or to get started. You can really just use the wax tip pencil. Honestly, you could use like a crayon if you wanted to. So then to start out, like I said, we prepped our surface by sanding. We did use an alcohol wipe to wipe it down. So then we just took the alcohol wipe, wiped it down, got all the dust off. When you're sanding, don't sand over your surface. You don't want all that dust and stuff to like get into your stones, into your work surface. So do that off your work mat. And then today, like with this pen, this is the Honeycomb Pattern. So as you can see, like each row of stones fits into the next row of stones. And then you shift the stones, each color, 1 over each row, and then that's what makes the circle pattern. So I like to start at the writing tip end because this end is more flatter. This end has a little curve on it, and I like to end there because I have a little bit more leeway in where I can put my stones. So with the SS10 size, you can get, I can't remember if it's 12 or 13 stones all the way around. So then we're just going to start with a little line. And you don't need a whole lot of glue. You don't want it oozing out all over the place, but it does dry clear. And then I always like to wipe off the end of my tip to keep it clean. I don't want that glue sticking to stuff. And then, there we go. So then let's start with our SS10. And we're going to put it on here. One of the more important things about doing the honeycomb pattern is to get this first line of stones that you put on here pretty straight, because that sets the tone for the whole rest of your design. If you don't get that first row straight, then the rest of your design isn't going to be straight. So then I'm just doing 2 of each color, and I think I'll end up with 3 of the crystal color so that it's even. So then just do 2 more here, and then 2 more rainbow. And then, yep, I'll do one more crystal to end it off here. So one thing that I do to get this first row of stones super straight is I will put it flat on my surface. So I'll put this bottom part down, and then I'll use my pen to push my stones down to make sure that they're flat. So then I'm just using a little bit of force to push them down, and then I'm spinning. I'm going to turn it while I do that. Then I'll give it another look just to make sure. Push those off, push those back on. So then that looks fairly good. It's pretty straight. Then just make any adjustments as needed. And then that seems pretty good. So then to start our second row, we're just going to add another line of glue, and then shift our stones 1 over each time. So then I got crystal right here. I'm going to shift over 1 on the crystal, and then do my chameleon color. So that, as you can see, sorry, my focus is off. You're just doing 1 over each time. That will give us the swirl pattern. Just alternating colors each time. And these pens are usually fairly quick to make. Probably take you a couple hours, depending upon how fast you are. The more you do them, the faster you will get. They make great gifts. My friends love to get one. And then I got one more here to finish off this row. So then you can see that we're just shifting the stones over each row. So then we'll do one more row. Then wipe off your glue tip. And then let's start with our crystal again, putting it in between there. And that's pretty much it on how to make them. You'll just finish this off down the whole barrel of your pen, and then put the pen back together. The glue will dry clear, as you'll see as we keep working, that the little bits of white glue that you're seeing, it will turn clear and you won't see that anymore. And I keep forgetting to count. I think I'm using 13 SS10 stones to go all the way around. And one more to finish off the row. So then, as you can see, it's starting to shift. So now you can see that we're starting to get that twisted pattern in there. So then I'm going to keep going. I'll go ahead and speed this up and then show you some progress. So as you can see, we are coming right along. We are about a quarter of the way done with the pen. Everything is lining up very good. One thing that I did want to point out is, as I'm going along, you see the little notches in the pen. I kind of use these as a guide to keep my line straight, or to kind of judge where I'm at, and to make sure that nothing's kind of going wonky on me. This pen too, since it is already pink, we didn't need to color the background of it. What you'll see sometimes is people will spray paint their pens, or they will epoxy them so that the pen color will blend in with the stone color, and you'll see less of a gap. You'll see less of the background color of the surface that you're working on. And it kind of just makes everything blend together a little bit better. We will post a link in the video to all of the products that we are using today, so that you have them for easy reference. These are the colored Ink Joy pens. The regular ones come in the color black, and those are the ones that people will will color if they're using like a lighter colored stone and things like that. So we will just keep moving here. All right, so we are about halfway done now. You can see the swirl taking more shape. It's looking really nice. I'm gonna zoom in. Hopefully my autofocus works. There it is. You can see the color shift of the rainbow, the chameleon rainbow rhinestones. How they shift from yellow to pink. Okay, so we're on our last row here. We're gonna put these last couple in, and then if you remember how we talked at the beginning, how this end is really flat, and then this end has a curve on it. So when you place these stones, you want them to be flat and not kind of like, you want to get the backs to get as much surface area contact as you can, and they're not all going to fit the same number that you have been putting on each row. So in here, you kind of have to set them, start off the same as you would, and then you're going to have to use your judgment on where they're going to end up at. So, like as you can see here, they're going to start to not line up completely right in between the crevice of the prior row, but it will still end up looking okay. Just keep your pattern as much as you can. And we got just a few more left here. So again, not all of them are going to line up, but we don't want to put them like sideways on there. We want the stone to have as much contact with this curved tip as possible to prevent them from coming off later. And then we might only be able to get one in here. So then I'll kind of space these out a little bit so that it looks okay. And we have pretty good coverage there. And then I'm not going to be too concerned, excuse me, I'm not going to be too concerned about this little pink part showing. As you can see, like with this one, there's just a little bit showing, but you can't really see it when you're looking at the pen in general. Or you can leave it open like we did with this one. Again, when you're looking at the pen, you can't really see that part's open, and honestly, it looks okay. So then after this dries, we will go ahead and put our pen back together. The glue recommends that you let it dry for up to 1 hour and then up to 24 hours for maximum strength and water resistance after 72 hours. So then we'll go ahead and wait a couple days before we go ahead and like wash off all the glue or any excess glue that we got on our stones, just so that it's a little bit more shinier. Then to go ahead and we'll put it back together while you're here. Then you just screw the tip back on and it will click like normal. So then there's this one. You have a pretty little pattern. You can pretty much do any color that you want. We have several others that we've done. This one we did kind of like a chevron pattern, but we did it sideways. We used 3 different colors here using, I think this is cobalt, and then crystal AB and hyacinth orange. Then like this one we did. This one is the chameleon cobalt color. So depending upon what light you're looking at it, it will look blue. And then if we can get the right angle here, it also has like pinks and purples, a little bit of a yellow shimmer to it. It kind of looks like an oil slick a little bit. So you can see that a little bit. So that will wrap it up for us. Like we said, we will go ahead and in the comments put a link to all of the products that we used. Then next week we will be working on another project. Not sure if we're going to do shoes yet or if we're going to go ahead and do a football. So we hope you tune in to watch that, and we hope to see everyone soon. Bye!